Peter Berg and Mark Wahlberg reteam for the first time since Patriots Day, and this time around it's not based on an actual true story. Here on Rich Reviews. Hi there folks, welcome back to Rich Reviews, and the latest film I want to review for you guys here comes from Netflix, and this is Spenser Confidential. This is based on the Spenser character from Parker, who also made Spenser for Hire, and also he is the same guy who wrote the Jess Stone novels that were turned into a series of films starring Tom Selleck. Of course, Parker died in 2010, but his estate has approved various novels from Ace Atkins, who wrote Wonderland, and this is very loosely based on the novel Wonderland. Now, let me confess, I've never seen Spenser for Hire, so any references or characters that appear, and if they do appear, I didn't get them. So basically, Spenser here is played by Mark Wahlberg, and he is serving time for punching out his captain, who thinks he was stalling an investigation. And obviously, in a film like this, he's in general population, which I know in real life that would never happen. Basically, he gets out. The first thing he amazingly enough does is hide from his ex-girlfriend, played by a person who I don't know if it actually is from Boston, but she gives one of the most terrible Boston accents I've ever seen in a while. And she apparently, this woman is Last Comic Standing or has a comedic background. The person here playing Hawk, I guess in the original series, was played by Avery Brooks, and here he's played by Winston Duke. And again, he lives in a halfway house. I assume it's a halfway house. And basically, this Alan Arkin is here. I don't know what the original character of Alan Arkin was played by in the Spenser for Hire. If anyone knows, please put that in the comment box below. But the first day he gets out, what do you know? The captain he beat the crap out of gets murdered. And what do you know? His former partner, played by a guy who I think was on Fargo, basically is like, hey, did you do it? No. That's all we need to know from you. And basically, his former partner and everyone else basically tells him, hey, walk away from this, because in anyone's right mind, you would walk away from this, but of course, he doesn't walk away from this because it's every cop film ever made, and he goes about investigating it, and also this leads to another cop that he knew that was framed for that murder of his captain, as the wife of this one police officer is beside herself. I mean, I like Mark Wahlberg, I like Peter Berg's work. Brian Halligan, the man who wrote LA Confidential, he wrote Mystic River, he wrote Assassins, which I don't hold to blame him for, and he directed 42. But here's the thing, all these people are clearly talented. They have nothing to work with here. I mean, basically, this is every other cop film that you've seen before, and oh yeah, Spenser wants to become a truck driver and move to Arizona. If that's a plot point from the original books or from the TV show, I didn't get that. And oh yeah, basically, who is responsible for the captain's death is basically one of the most obvious things that you can think of. Again, Roger Ebert mentioned this with the law of the economy of characters, and it's revealed that who's behind the captain's death is revealed, and it gives an answer to the Mark Wahlberg character. You're thinking to yourself, okay, I can partially understand where that character is coming from. Also, we got Mark Maron as a journalist. I think it's Mark Maron. Mark Maron is like, you don't have enough evidence. And basically, Mark Wahlberg gives a very funny response to that. All this, basically enough, leads to a racetrack that everyone is laundering money from, or is basically, this is supposed to be a high-profile gambling operation. And also in connection with this, a community activist death, that her murder was actually recorded on camera, and basically Mark Wahlberg thinks, oh yes, my captain's responsible for bearing this evidence. Again, here's the thing, folks, I enjoy this in the moment. And I say that in the moment because after seeing this, and even the day afterwards, I haven't thought about this film. Can anyone here predict how this film is going to end? Also, there are 2 FBI agents. And granted, the FBI is never helpful in films like these because they just say to him, as usual, walk away from this. And if I were smart enough, folks, I would walk away from it as well. Granted, I don't even understand why Mark Wahlberg wants to investigate it as well. I never read the Spenser books. I never read the Joss Stone books. And maybe Robert Parker had a very good eye for characters. Maybe Ace Atkins, who wrote the Wonderland novel, had a good eye for characters as well, but everything is sorely lacking in here, and I don't blame Brian Halligan for this. Maybe he just was having an off day. So at the end, folks, Spenser Confidential is a waste of time, and I say that sadly. But for whatever reason, I'm going to give this a matinee rating because I enjoyed it in the moment, and I haven't thought about this thing since. So folks, Spenser Confidential, have you seen this? What do you think? What's your favorite Spenser novel or Just Stone novel? As always, folks, I'm on Twitter at Michael Rich Reviews too. As always, folks, like, comment, subscribe, enrich yourself with knowledge. I'll see you next time, folks. Yes, hooray.